Hey guys, just me today in a late night upload that I'll probably regret. I mean, for God's sakes, I don't even know if I'm going to upload what I'm recording right now anyway, because I might just be making it for my own selfish reasons and then deleting it because I know better. Honestly, I don't have a clue. Today we're here to talk about a bit of a channel update, how I've been feeling lately, and just, oh my god, I'm stuck. Still, I know. This is something that we talked about like months and months and months and months ago, where I talked to you guys and I tried all this nonsense. I tried to make another channel, I tried to stream more, I tried to upload different types of videos, I've tried to circumvent the algorithm. I feel like I've tried and tried and tried and I've just failed at every turn. And I don't know anymore, man. To give you the anecdote that kicked this whole thing off, I was basically looking through all of my old videos after I was putting together that Tarkov video that came out yesterday, and I stumbled across a comment on my 200 sub special that basically said, you're gonna look back on this comment and this video once you've made it and you're gonna smile. And I just looked at that for at least 15 minutes, just staring at it, and then I cried about it. And I'm not ashamed to admit I cried about it because looking back on it, I had so much fun doing that Tarkov stuff. The Tarkov videos that I put together, they aren't good videos. They're horrible. If you go back and watch them, they're nigh unwatchable. But even despite those videos being pretty much unwatchable, I had so much passion when I put them together. And I really started my whole YouTube thing because I just wanted to share my experiences and my fun with the world. And really, I think I've very much lost my way in that regard because we're at the point where I'm just cashing in. That's the reality of it. I'm no better than our good old favorite developer Uzu. I'm just cashing in and doing this for the paycheck, and there's no way I can deny that anymore. There are like 1 in 25 videos that I make for Roblox JoJo that I actually cared about, and then there's 24 other ones that I just chucked out but people watched anyway, and I don't know why. And I think a lot of that is some of the reasons that I question myself so often. I question myself on whether or not my videos are even good enough to be mainstream or for a lot of people to watch. Because I can tell you with certainty that my old Tarkov videos definitely weren't. And back then, I probably thought that they were good enough even though they definitely obviously weren't. But then again, the video that I just put together yesterday, nowadays me thinks that that's good enough. And I don't know if a year from now me is gonna think that, but at the very least, the bias from nowadays me definitely thinks so, and yet here we are. And the other thing that makes me question myself so much is that it feels like no matter what I put out, YBA Roblox related, people will eat it up. Which is not true for a lot of other mediums, especially the kind of FPS mediums that I've been trying to break into for so long. And so to circle back to what I was really talking about is I can never tell if my stuff is actually worth watching or if people are just watching it for Roblox JoJo. And I can guarantee you that a lot of the videos I put out on Roblox JoJo are only being watched because they're Roblox JoJo. And other than that, they're just total garbage. Like, there's no other way around it. I often throw around the blame to YouTube's algorithm and all of that kind of stuff, but in reality, that's not the whole story. A lot of the story still falls onto me for being too much of a coward to just make the jump, while also being too much of a stickler for getting views to continue with my second channel, where I just abandoned it outright because I didn't want to deal with it anymore, and it felt like I was just wasting my time. Now, the reasons that I felt like I was wasting my time, I think were justified, and I think are still somewhat justified to this day. Mostly because I understand some of how that algorithm works, and I know that a lot of the way it works is based off of reading what people who watched your videos also watch. So in other words, if I brought a bunch of people like I did from my main channel to my second channel, it reads them watching my Battlefield video, then sees that they also watch Roblox but don't watch anything else Battlefield, and then it doesn't recommend my video to anyone who watches Battlefield, and we've made no progress. That's why I initially quit, and I still don't know if there's anything I'm going to be able to do about that. But the point being, I cried like a baby, and then I made that video that came out yesterday. I put my heart and my soul into that video, knowing full well that it was gonna flop. Is that stupid? 100%. That's idiotic. Why would anybody do that? People usually don't go out of their way to create good things that they know are going to fail. And yet here we are. That's exactly what I just did. Now, what happened with that video? Well, I think it goes without saying that it flopped. In fact, it flopped so hard that it's like the worst performing video in the last like 5 or 6 months. It did horrible. It almost couldn't have done worse. It's really sad, and I was really sad about it, but it's also a little comical. It is slightly funny, and I've got to laugh at these kind of things so that I don't just get really sad about them. But there was some good that came out of that video, and it wasn't all bad. And some of that good was that I read some comments from people that watched me a year ago for only Tarkov that are still leaving comments on my videos when I posted another Tarkov one to this day. And even thinking about it now makes me really emotional, because it blows my mind that there are still people a year later that have been waiting for that kind of Tarkov stuff, or just really anything me related to do with Tarkov for that long. And I can't even put it into words how that made me feel. I was overwhelmed. I felt like I disappointed those people so bad back then, and I still feel like I'm disappointing those people today, because they really gave me almost everything I had, and I don't think with them pushing me as a platform, I even would have ended up with this whole Roblox crap to begin with. So to all of you guys out there that like my Tarkov stuff, thank you so much for still being here, and also I'm really sorry. I genuinely feel awful about it. Now, that being said, obviously I've also been given basically my entire livelihood by the Roblox JoJo community, and I can't thank you guys enough for that, however many of you are watching this. And with that, I really don't want to just abandon one or the other. I don't feel good about it, and I feel like I shouldn't, but I almost feel like I wasn't given a choice. But then again, that might just be self-pity and me making excuses for myself. I genuinely don't know. And there's been a few times on live streams and stuff where people have asked me if you were given the option to just dump Roblox and JoJo entirely and go over to play Tarkov or something, would you do it? And those few times that I've been asked that, pretty much every single time I've said, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, no doubt in my mind. But I think in further reflection, I don't even think I would be able to do that, because there's so many things that still tether me down to Roblox JoJo no matter how much I want to leave. I have such an emotional connection to YBA as a game, considering that it gave me everything I have today. I wouldn't have any of this without YBA. It's just not possible. And it's not even just YBA. There's other in-dev JoJo games that talk to me on the regular and really value my input. And I feel like if I left, I'd be letting all of them down too, especially if they're hoping that I'll promote their game. And if I'm not around to promote their game, then I feel like I've just wasted all of their time. So while it was easy for me back then to just say, yeah, I would dip and I would leave, I don't want to do that. But I think the reality of the situation is I'll probably be forced into a position where I either have to pick again, whether it be because of a monetary situation or because of just my work ethic and burnout, because I can't do everything myself. Some of the worst moments of my entire YouTube career were when I first blew up on YouTube and I was doing a video every single day and a stream every single day, because that's just not a feasible work-life balance schedule. You cannot do that while also having any sort of social life or any of that. You just can't. And so I had no time to myself. It was horrible, and while I'm sure it was great for the viewers back then, and it's probably one of the big reasons that my channel is where it is today, I can't even begin to imagine trying to do that stuff again. And it was was just terrible. At this point, I think I've rambled on about enough pointless crap that nobody really cares about, and I've delved enough into my self-pity that I probably just look like a jackass right now. But the real announcements that I have for the video are as follows. Number one, I want to bring Eclipse FPS back and actually try this time and not give up after a few months, because I think that that's my best bet of getting out of my rut and trying to actually reach a wider audience. Right now, I don't think it will be at all successful. In fact, I think the best way that I would even be able to do this would to be just to completely start from scratch, not tell anybody about my channel, make an entirely new channel, and just try to start from nothing. But I really don't want to do that, and I want to be able to at least see some numbers go up, so that's not going to happen. But anyways, Eclipse FPS will be coming back. I'm hoping to extensively cover the new Tarkov wipe when it drops, and so that's going to be the main focus over there, considering that Tarkov has, let's just say, a better viewership than Battlefield ever did. That was almost just a lost cause. Nobody cares about Battlefield. Other than Eclipse FPS, I'm also planning on making my stream schedule more consistent, but it's not going to be anything crazy. I'm probably just going to try to do one stream a week. And the biggest takeaway when it comes to streaming is that I am now exclusively going to be streaming on my Twitch. I believe the link is twitch.tv/eclipse_livestreams. If you're going over there and expecting Roblox or JoJo, you're going to be very disappointed because I have zero plans of doing any of that. But I know in the past I used to use Restream, and I would stream to 2 different platforms at once. I would stream over on YouTube, sometimes I would do it on my main channel, sometimes it would be on Eclipse FPS. I'm dropping all of that just because it doesn't feel right to have viewer bases split and favoritism, because I think it was pretty clear that I favored the Twitch chat anyway and just kind of neglected the YouTube chat. And I think at the end of the day, I'm absolutely going to make way less money doing this, but I think it's the better call overall. As for the main channel, like I said, I don't want to just dump Roblox JoJo entirely, especially considering that it's, you know, the monetary thing keeping me afloat. That being said, there is no shot in hell that I'm going to be able to bring back Eclipse FPS and do more live streams and not have a cut down on the amount of Roblox JoJo videos. I think my schedule right now, which should be feasible, is to have 2 videos on the Roblox channel go up every week, 2 videos on the Eclipse FPS channel to go up every week, and then ideally, if the live stream that I do at some point during the week, I have not decided the day yet, goes well and I have enough content to use from that, then I'll be able to put that together into a stream highlights video, which then can also go up on the Eclipse FPS channel. So the total uploads should, in theory, go up, but I have to actually be able to do that while also stopping myself from just working and never getting any breaks. I have had plenty of people approach me and tell me that I should get an editor and that will help make my life a lot easier, but I've also spent a lot of time explaining to those people that I don't feel right hiring out an editor, because then I don't feel like it's truly me making my videos anymore. There's also a lot of control that comes down to it, where I don't want to lose control of my videos, and so the comfortability of me sending out like a raw 2-hour VOD to an editor and then them editing it and sending it back to me, it worries me, even though I'm not like a cancelable guy. I don't say a lot of cancelable stuff in my recordings, but sometimes I am a bit of a baby, and those things I cut out, whereas the editor would have to deal with my babyisms, and I don't feel super comfortable having someone look at me that way that doesn't know me. So I hope that makes sense as to why I don't plan on getting any editors or anything like that anytime soon. Well, I don't think there's anything else I have to say here. I know this was a bit of a ramble fest. I don't think too many people are gonna watch it, and maybe that's for the better, because it almost feels like the less people that go over to the Eclipse FPS channel, the better chance I have of reaching other people, but we'll see how any of that works out. I truly hope that the videos that I continue to put together are actually well made, and they're not just me thinking they're good based on my own bias, because in reality, there's just no way for me to tell. And that sucks. If you supported me this long, especially if you're from the Tarkov crowd from all the way back then, know that that means the world to me, and I was genuinely baffled seeing familiar faces from all the way back then continuing to comment on my videos so much time after the fact. Hopefully I'll be able to scratch that Tarkov itch for you over on the Eclipse FPS channel. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Sorry you just watched through that. Like, genuinely, what's wrong with you? But yeah, have a wonderful day and night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.